Oh, I also had a buy on GJ in the same level as you, Raja.
Oh, nice. It just looks so clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's still going. What a Tuesday.
What a Tuesday. Tony Tuesday.
Secure 10 pips. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Morning, morning, morning.
Morning, morning.
Y'all guys on fire, man. Woo!
Yeah.
2-6.
Oh, nice.
Oh. 15 pips.
Nice. Yeah, that was great.
That was good.
That was a really good move.
It's gonna hit
was
tick
great.
profit just that was good.
I saw it and I'm like, man, this is gonna go up, and it'll be a shame if I wait till 6:30 and I miss it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, no, I'm gonna take it.
Have a nice runner going. Oh, 16 pips on my runner. Damn.
Nice, man. Yeah, it's gonna. This is good now.
If it breaks that level, we're good.
Yeah, right now it's entering an area where it might come down to do like kind of like a retesting, and then because what it's doing now, it's awesome. It's making a high. You know, and later on we want to see it create a support and then retest the high. Where's my music here?
Almost 20 pips.
Oh, nice. TP just hit over here.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. I'm just gonna close for the day.
Yeah.
What a beautiful trade. Well, it was a nice call, Raja.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. We all got it.
Yep.
Hey, what's going on, Rakeel?
Hey, how's it going?
Good,
Mr.
man. Good.
Mr. Gartic in the house.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, what up, Vincent? I still have to pick up that block thing.
Yeah, bro, you're slacking. Are you working? Are you still
Yeah.
working or what?
No. Not with this whole Corona thing going on.
Oh yeah, okay. Then you can take your time. Did you catch those buys?
Yeah, I close buys.
Nice.
Well, that was a good trade right there. Nice 20 pips.
Yep.
Like, I mean, if people have been coming on to the live streams, they would have caught it without us on being on the live stream. You know, like it was.
If they're up early enough and not just up on tonight.
Yeah. I was up at 6. I was watching a video someone made on Grant Cardone, and I was watching that. At the same time, I was looking at GG. I'm like, man, this is gonna go up. This is so bullish.
Bro, I said to myself the same thing.
Yeah, even though the 4-hour had no wick to the bottom, but the 1-hour was bullish, 30-minute was. I'm like, man, this is gonna go up, and I don't want to miss it.
But everything worked out, so
Yeah, everything worked out.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
good morning.
Nice call.
Good
Benji.
morning.
I was in a trade in GJ, like you.
Oh, nice.
But I got from 133,700.
Oh, 75. My best was at 133,830.
I was waiting in London before the 1 hour it was close and full bullish, and I said like, yeah, this is a great opportunity. But I knew it is gonna be just like a bit pullback.
Yeah.
So that's where in 15 minutes I said, should I shoot? Shoot it. It was a risk a bit, but quite pips, no?
Yeah. No, it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Rakeel, are you still in oil?
No, I closed. I closed like long time ago. I closed at like break even. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in oil on 20, 23, and 21 right now.
Oh, nice. I think it's gonna drop down even more.
Oh, why would you? I mean, what is your?
I was talking to somebody and they were saying that oil, since it's at 20s, and every big institution thinks that this is the bottom, but in reality, it's gonna have like another spike down.
Come on with it.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm like, I'm with it.
Man, I'm praying for that one, bro. I'm like, this is gonna be my moment, man. I'm gonna be a Power Ranger.
Yeah. Oh wow, could have held
Oh
GG a little
wow,
bit longer.
still going. Shit.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
close.
Oh,
God.
40 pip move.
Crazy.
Let's see for another.
Yeah, so Wednesday today we're gonna have some. Oh, it's Tuesday today. No, never mind. I thought it was Wednesday for some reason. So we've reached the top over here. This is a very strong resistance here in GJ that we've reached on. All right, what's this chart here? Trying to find new pairs. Oh, I think you should just stick to 1 or 2 pairs. So price is at resistance. You cannot buy right now because it's at resistance. You can't sell because, there's no confirmation for a sell. So you're just waiting. The good thing is we made a high, so it needs to come down, create a support, and then retest the high. So that's going to be the second trade I'm going to look for. Alright, so what's this over here? The weight of the price to break or retest the 4 hour resistance. Yeah, so basically what my entry was, I was looking at the 1 hour, previous 1 hour candle broke above here, like the previous of these 1 hour candles. The 15 minute candle also broke above these candles here to the left hand side. This 15 minute candle closed like a small bearish body candle. So this gave me some confidence that, okay, we might be starting to push up. So I started to measure my stop that, okay, like if it's going to start pushing up, my stop has to be around 14, 15 pips, which is below the previous bearish candle. And as this candle started to break the high of the previous one, that's when I know that, okay, as it's breaking the high, now it's probably going to make a higher high and a higher low. So once that high was broken, I brought my stops below this bullish candle just to protect it. And then it started to move up, and then I brought them at break even, and it moved up more, and then took profits.
That's my chart, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, which one? This one?
That. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you can neaten up your 4 hour zone over here. You see how it's overlapping the candles?
Yeah. I just did very quick. That's why.
Yeah. So you can make it kind of like this, neat.
Yeah.
Morning, good morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
I just took exactly the same trade, dude.
Oh,
Very
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yes.
15 minute, basically. So I entered on that as it was flipping because there's no top wick on a 30 minute as well.
Yes.
And it played out real good.
Yeah. Oh, we had the same trades.
Yeah, man. I literally just turned it on. I was just adding it to Slack and stuff, and then I just looked, and then I just see it's nice to see, man.
Yeah.
It's not.
So I still got a runner as well, which is nice.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, good trade, man. Well done.
Easy, Chris, what's going on?
Good, mate. Good, mate. Not
Where's
too
Carlo?
bad.
Is it Carlo's birthday today?
Oh yeah, man. It's Carlo's birthday today, everyone. just so you know. So wish him a happy birthday.
Yeah,
Happy birthday, Carlos.
Carlos turning what, 19 finally?
I don't know if you saw my story on Instagram, but it tells you how old he got.
So mean.
Nice one, guys.
All right, so basically we at resistance now. Kind of waiting for like a retracement for a continuation up. Because once we go above 134,300, there's a very, very, very high chance we're going up to 134,500 and 550 and then beyond.
Live traffic after that.
Yeah, because
It's like 50 pips. All right.
yeah, because this is a range here. You know,
Yeah.
this whole thing is a range, and then this is a range right
That
over
too.
here. Yeah.
Yes.
So we got to go from this range up to this range, and then boom, boom, going up.
Let's see what's going on.
Yeah. Just kind of waiting for some confirmation. Gold is falling into a 4-hour liquidity. Man, gold, look at the way gold's been ranging. Gold's been ranging for 6 days straight. Huge move is coming on gold. Huge.
NFP is going to be huge.
Yeah, and if it's going to be huge, man.
You know, kind of see what gold's going to do. Let's see if it's going to wick down and shoot up, or it's going to be crazy, man.
Oh, nice. Someone had the same buys. GJ. Beautiful.
Everybody has the same chart.
Yeah.
Everybody look at GJ.
Yeah, because we've been looking at it for so long, every
Yeah.
day. You just start understanding it more.
Yeah, it's like if I was comparing last night GJ with GDP Australian dollar. That is crazy. Australian is just like sucks, nasty. It's not like GJ. GJ is more good to trade than that. It's not.
Yeah.
Oops. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, that's resistance.
Oh, looks like we're breaking up. Just gotta wait. So we wait for bullish confirmation on 30 minutes. Well, yeah, you can wait for 30 minutes, 15 minute bullish confirmations. But right now, since it's moving up, if you're in buys from down here, you're good. But if you're taking buys up over here, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. You know, because now you're taking buys. If you're taking buys up here, you can become the wick. That means that you can have a great entry, but in the opposite direction. You know, because if you take a buy, it falls down, then you have a wick entry. Because you see these wicks here, these candles came up, and at one point they were bullish and then wick down. This went up, wick down. This went up, wick down. So we don't know whether this will push up, continue, or this will wick down. But what I do know is looking at GJ that since it moved up to resistance, moved up to an area where it had wicked down before, it will create a support sometime in the next 2-3 hours, and then another buying opportunity is going to come on. So instead of taking an impulse buy because maybe someone missed it, having FOMO, I think you should just wait for price to create some sort of support and then continue up. If the candle closes above those other bodies you are currently talking about, which no, I'm going to look for support to be formed. Because I already took buys. I took buys from down over here. So now I want a support to be formed to take more buys to go up to retest the high. I'm pretty sure I'm going to repeat this 10 times.
For sure. But did you check the news of GDP? Looks like all positive.
GDP, yeah, looks positive.
Sounds just like, yeah, she's gonna be strong.
Oh, what's this? Euro GBP, waiting for clean breakouts. Nice. So it's coming down to support. So you're looking for a break to sell. That's good. Okay, what's this? Oh, price came back for a retest entry on close of bullish engulfing candle. So you took a buy over here. This candle came down. Yeah, I mean, it just came down. Looked good because the candle closed above this area. You took a buy. And I think it wasn't the probability. The probability of it heading up wasn't there. Sometimes, it's just a probability. Like, things look good, things look perfect, but you get stopped out. It's just like maybe the probability wasn't there. Do you have any runners open? No, I don't have any runners open.
I do.
Oh, someone does.
Is that a long play, Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to leave that one for as long as I can. I've closed 3/4 of all my positions now, so I've just left like 25% going.
Oh, nice. %25 still open.
Mm-hmm. The beauty of magic keys.
Yeah, it has a very high probability to continue to 134,600.
I mean, all I was looking at, I think, I don't know if Ted's still here, but we discussed similarly yesterday when we were looking at kind of these levels over here and above there for potential buys. Once we break this zone, if we can create support above where you've got your line, makes a hell of a lot of sense to continue. So looking at daily and higher time frame makes a lot of sense right now. But you still got to get past it yet. But I mean, I was only going to take buys above about where you are now, to be honest. But then that presented itself a little bit towards the end of our stream. I thought, you know what, that's a good chance. So I'll give it a go.
Could you have a look at my UJ chart? Let's look at this UJ chart here. Wicks to fill, clean traffic, resistance broken, stops below the wick, 30-minute close. Yeah, looks good. Looking for a continuation, looks good. So far the 30 minutes about to close. If it's closing bullish, makes sense. Man, this is a nasty range on gold. NFP numbers, oof, ADP is going to set the tone.
Yeah, gold was playing hard this morning. I was just looking at it on lower time frames. Man, it was jumping all over the place. It's a big 1 minute candles.
Wow.
Yeah, them two massive ones there to the left, they're huge.
And the spreads are still the same, like they haven't changed at all.
Yeah, mine have come down a little bit, to be honest, but still, yeah, I'd still be very careful.
It's come down.
Just a little bit minded. Mine were back to like between 6 and 10, but it's fluctuating a lot, so it's still not perfect, but still alright.
Yeah, mine went back like 10 pips.
Yeah.
It was at 40.
Mm.
Does Raja wait for the 15-minute to close before taking a trade? What I'm waiting now, if you see prices move bullish, right? It's at resistance. You cannot take a buy because there's no confirmation we're breaking this resistance yet. You cannot take a sell because there's no confirmation we're rejecting resistance yet. So since price is bullish, what you would want to do is, okay, so what I would do is I would wait for, so since we've reached this area, I would want to see a retracement, create a support, see a bearish candle and see a bullish candle, and then take a buy and anticipate the resistance to be broken and continue going up. That's what I want to see to take another buy.
Yep.
And that's what I'm going to wait for.
I think you need a few more legs to get through that zone, I think.
Yeah.
That's a solid level.
Yeah, and Chris will enter 10 more buys over there, and we're going to have a good day.
Nah, I'm good now. I'm 2 trades this week.
Oh.
Bruh, 2 trades, man. I lost yesterday, and this one's just covered that and put me in the right side of the coin for the week. So, no, I'm good. 2 trades. Very disciplined. End of the month, you know.
The last hour, what?
Lies. I'm not Carlo.
0 trades today, thanks, mate.
That's it, man. Birthday privileges, you know.
Just here for the application.
No, we're saying it this morning, man. It's the end of the month. Don't want to throw away stuff, you know. Keep yourself in a good position.
Alright, let's take a look at this here. USD CAD. Oh, USD CAD broke the range. I'm waiting for a small pullback to give me a bullish candle on 15 or 5 minutes buy. Yeah, see, so it created a high over here, And now it's coming down to create some sort of a. See, it's the same setup here, like on GJ. It created a high. You wanted to create support to continue going up. So same setup here. The thing is, you really have to force yourself to wait. I know it's very tempting to take a buy right now. It's extremely tempting. And there are chances that if you take a buy, price will go up and you will profit. But then you have to look at it in the longer term, that how many times if you do that, you're going to be profitable doing that. You know? So you have to control FOMO, you have to control the urge to enter a buy, and you have to wait like a good boy. If for some reason price does break resistance, that's even better, because price broke resistance, then it's going to come down and create a support like a retest, and then it's going to go back up again. And then you're going to post on Instagram and say, oh, look, I waited for my setup, I executed on the setup, and then I won on my setup. And that's going to look much better, rather than saying, oh, I took a buy at resistance and I won. Look, ooh, big balls. No. That doesn't work in the long term.
All about that consistency.
Yeah, consistency. Soon everyone will be able to see my trading journal publicly.
That's cool.
We're gonna step it up a little bit.
Man, that's setting standards for everyone, right?
Yeah,
we
we're
have
gonna
to do the
raise.
same, bro.
Yeah.
If he sees my one, Roger will be like, I didn't teach you that. That's not what I taught you.
Yeah. They'll be like, hey, when did you teach us that one? We never seen that move. So the red candle that you are anticipating with 15 minutes should respect your previous candle's low. And I think people overthink a lot. Man, people are just overthinking so much. Alright. So I'm waiting for a support to be formed. If a support is formed, I'm going to take a buy. That's it.
Makes sense.
That's it.
Just gotta wait.
Yeah. So in this case, I'd probably like a 15-minute support formed as well. You know, it would make sense too. So when you're waiting for support or resistances to be formed, it's very situational whether you want it formed on the 15-minute or the 30-minute. It's very, very situational. In this case, since the range is, you know, not that big, I mean, it's a 40 pip range, still like if a support forms around 134, you know, 050, 030, that's good. That's still going to be good enough, because we'll still have a range, like a 20 pip range, and then the anticipation would be to break this resistance and continue moving bullish. Perfect. Gonna wait for price to fall support. See how the pre-markets are doing it today. It's always interesting to see these big ass numbers. Oh, pretty stable today. Still down, but pretty stable. Not that big of a change. 2.48. I know, like 2 weeks ago, this was like negative 700. This was like negative 900.
Didn't it get up to like 1500 one day? Negative.
Oh wow. Why do you look at pre-markets? I just look at pre-markets just to see, basically. This information, I never ever use this information to trade. Because this information doesn't tell me anything where GJ is gonna go. So that's just for like shits and giggles, you know. Until they giggle and shit. Let's wait for... What's this? EJ chart. Initial target, waiting level for 30-minute break. Nice. So if it breaks, look for a retest and then you're continuing down here. Looks good. Zones are right. Clean traffic. Man, people are learning from the live stream. We just start charging them now. Oh, someone set the wrong chart. GBP NZD 4 hour, clear path up. See, so now you're looking at the 4 hour, your zone is correct. You need to now go down to the 30-minute to see if you can find a support form. Because if you're looking for buys, you know what the great, what's his name, Warren Buffett said? He says, buy low and sell high. No. Buy low. Yeah, buy low and sell high, right? What he means by that is if price is at a high, if price is moving up, you need to buy low. Buy low means wait for price to create a support and then buy so it can continue moving up. When price is dropping, you need to wait for a resistance to be formed and then sell high. You know, so this is the sell high area and then price is going to go down. So that's what he means. So when you're looking at that USD CAD chart or whatever chart this was here, this one, yeah, GPNGD, price is moving up. You need to wait for the 30-minute or small time frame to create a support, so then you can follow the overall higher time frame.
That's why he's billionaire right now.
Yeah.
$84 billion. Crazy.
Yeah. So right now, you know, I mean, it's dropping, whatever. But you're waiting for, well, I'm waiting for a support to form so I can take another buy. So until that happens, I know this candle is going to close in 6 minutes. So I'm waiting 6 minutes for this candle to close.
If the next 15 candle is gonna close bullish, do you take a trade or not, Ryan?
Yeah, I'll take a trade.
Even if it's risky?
Depends how it closes. We don't know yet until it closes.
But for example, the next candle is gonna close hammer.
We don't know. We don't know how it's gonna close. That's the thing. Like. So this candle is gonna close in 5 minutes. The next candle is gonna close in another 15 minutes. So then, like, you can run all sorts of scenarios in your mind for the next 20 minutes how the candles are gonna close, and that, I think that's just a waste of time, honestly.
Okay.
Until we know how the candle closes.
Something clear.
Right. You know, because like I used to do the same thing. Oh, what if the candle closes like this? What if it closes like that? So when you're running these scenarios in your mind, you don't know it, but subconsciously you're just like confusing yourself more and more and more on like how the candles are going to close until the candles do close.
Yeah, something like forcing yourself.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So when this happened, I know I have to wait. I'm waiting. I'm going through Instagram on my phone. I'm, answering questions.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, it had a hard rejection. Oh wow, dropping further. Man, I hope no one bought on the top over there.
I'm sure some did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
I've learnt my lesson. So I've got the patience of a monk.
Raja, please advise. Okay, let's wait for the advice here. So, oh wow, there's a big rejection here. Wow, look at that 15 minute. Look at that 5 minute pushing up. God
That
damn. So if I look for entries, my stop is going to be down over here. Wow, it's a big stop loss. Might as well wait. You know, in a perfect world, I would want to see a 15-minute candle closing bullish. Yeah, I'd want to see a 15-minute candle closing bullish where my stop could be like, 12, 15 pips. And then use this entire momentum going up and rejection from the support to continue up to 134, 300 and break through. That's what I would want to see. Alright, someone sent a chart here. Close below support, took an entry. Very nice. The only problem with this thing is now there's a less chance it might just continue dropping hard, or it might come up to do a retest and then continue to drop. When you're looking for a support, you look for 15 minute or 5 minute. Traditionally, I'm going to look for the 15 minute here. It depends. It's very situational. So I'm going to look for a 15-minute candle to close bullish. See, this one's about to close in 51 seconds, 50 seconds. So I'm going to wait for the 15-minute candle to close and see what I'm going to do. Or what I might also do is I might have a buy stop. Like as price starts to come up, I might have a buy stop at 134, 300 just to catch the move as it starts to pull through 134, 300. So those are two scenarios right now that are running through my mind. I overtraded last night. I had to be really honest with myself. I told myself tomorrow was a new day. Perfect. Perfect. So to establish support, we have to wait until the candle closes and the next candle has to be bullish. Yes, that's the definition of support in an uptrend. So now if this candle closes bullish, this 15-minute candle, then I'm going to be interested in taking a buy. So now I got 15 more minutes left to wait. See, trading's easy, just waiting. Raja, do you think the same situation from GJ would apply to EJ? Should I wait for the pullback? Well, you need to look at the sender EJ chart first. The reason why I can't pull up other charts is because I'm so fixated on what I'm looking at. So I don't want to open another chart and do analysis there while I'm waiting for something right over here. So that's why I tell people to post a chart so that it's really easy to open it up, look at it, give our opinions. Because, in trading, what's this? How are you so patient? Well, you get paid to wait, And if I wait, and if I see a bullish candle forming, I'm going to take that trade. And based on how I've been performing this past year, it's going to be a higher probability I'm going to win that trade. Hey Chris, I went to buy a webcam yesterday. I couldn't find them. They're all sold out.
My bad, I've just come back. I was talking to Seth for ages and realised my internet stopped working.
Oh.
Yeah, I was literally talking to Seth for about 10 minutes. What's that? Just everyone, because everyone's going on the internet now trying to stream stuff and I suppose work and that now, right?
Working from home and all that stuff.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, not surprising. Good time to have shares in webcams.
I find my analysis is right most of the time. But once the price is at like half of my TP, it just drops to break even and stops my trade. Yeah, that happens to me too a lot of times. You know, like that's why it's very important to just secure in profits. Whenever price goes in like, 10, 12 pips, I always secure 10, 12 pips.
It's better that than going backwards, right?
Yeah. Like there's a guy on my Instagram, he was arguing with me, oh, you only took 8 pips or 9 pips. I'm like, well, it's still money. It's still money. Like, when you secure 8, 9 pips and you get stopped out at break even, price continues to go your way, just imagine that price could have taken you in drawdown too.
Yeah, big time. That's not what you want, especially if you're going in a positive. You don't want to go back in negative, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
So I just got stopped out while I was offline. I got stopped out on my runner on that GJ trade, but I still banked 75% of my trade prior to that. So,
oh, nice.
That's the way it is.
You're a boss.
But I wouldn't want it to go back into deficit. It's not a good way of doing it.
Yeah. Wow, that is very strong. See, I'm not worried about this 4-hour having no bottom wick, because now the 4-hour has no bottom wick. This just basically means that the bullish momentum was so strong, it didn't even come down a little bit. Wow, look at this daily, man. If this, see, now the daily candle, it went down, it didn't break the low. So now, man, Chris, I don't know about you, but I'm betting on the fact that this will break the previous daily high.
Yeah, yesterday, if you look at it we see it's, it didn't exceed the high, but it also didn't exceed the low yesterday. So I can't not disregard the candle, but the momentum's strong enough to continue. We needed a bit of a chill. You saw the level to the left, which you broke into. I think we'll still push up. But again, we've ranged for since yesterday, London. We kind of ranged in the consolidation area. It's when we get the breakout, and the only thing I'm concerned with now is just maybe the open of the new the new monthly candle, stuff like that. But looking at what you can see on the chart, we should continue, right?
Yeah, just looking at the chart just makes sense.
I mean, looking at 15-minute, my bad, 5-minute looked pretty sensible. Retested that level we just came from, basically where my entries were. I'm trying to make our way back up again. But we noticed we did the same thing yesterday, right? From 10 a.m. UK time, we kind of created a low and then started to reject and pushed up. We did exactly the same again today to near enough the exact same level.
That's true.
Exactly the same kind of process yesterday to now. So it would have been about 2 hours ago yesterday. Yeah, see there to your left now. That's it. So from about, see where they rejected at the bottom?
Yes,
That's kind of what we had. And then we've got exactly the same push this morning up to about the same level.
Yes.
So we've just had this morning in London, exactly the same kind of thing.
So this is the second time we're coming back to this level this week now.
And exactly the same kind of time frame as well.
Yes.
So just after midday UK time.
Oh boy, oh boy. Man, if this 15-minute closes just like this, I'm going to take a buy on this candle. That needs to close. I'm playing with house money now, so that's good. Ooh. Entered on the pullback. Previous 30-minute closed bullish. Stop loss is here. TP is here. Well, if this 15-minute candle closes bullish, then that's good. But if this breaks the low of the previous one, then you might want to think about doing some trade management.
So I'm kind of excited by that hour candle currently, the way it's pulled back to where it did. Now it's kind of creating this is the second half hour, probably going to be the push. Definitely want to watch.
Does Magic Keys work on TradingView? No. How much is your saving? I think my saving is enough to pay the bills for the next year. Like my bills aren't much. I think my bills are like 3,500 a month.
It's not too bad.
Well, $3,420 because I just bought the membership here on TradingView.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, the only thing I've noticed is I don't see any ads, and that's it. I haven't used any
I
paid
think you
feature.
can do more alerts and stuff. I think, right?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things you can. Oh.
Yeah. So you can do this.
Oh, well, that's just showing off now.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, I'm gonna have to get it now. That's awesome.
So you can do this.
So no, I can do that. I can do that anyway. Oh no, that's no different. I can do that.
Oh, you know what? This is awesome because I have a buy stop at 134,300, and that's the high of the 1 hour candle.
Nice.
So if that breaks, that means the 15-minute here is gonna break. Yeah.
That's good seeing it that way.
Yeah, it's the only cool thing about it. I haven't paid yet. It's a 30-day trial, so I might cancel it.
Those are the only benefits.
No, I think you see. I think one of the best benefits.
Well, you can add more indicators to this chart too.
You see there? You can change the colours. I think you can choose more colours. Next year. Yeah, I think you can choose more colours. That's one of the things you're allowed. Because I know I can only have one.
Yeah, only red.
Yeah, I'm probably going to stick to the unpaid version because I don't find the need for this.
You have to do it because after 30 days, you're going to charge immediately. Just like charging without your permission.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, one of my friends did that and he didn't know for something like 6 months. He said, where? And when he see that, he just like charging every month without knowing him.
Yeah, so that's his fault.
Yeah, I was like, good.
Oh, apparently you can use like a backtesting thing as well.
Yeah.
I don't know backtesting is.
You can do chart replay.
Chat with. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, I just thingy for that.
All right, mate. So this is trying to head up here. I entered a buy here on GJ.
Watch this 1 hour flip. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I just got in a buy on GJ here. Oh shit!
There you go. Jackpot. Get pushing.
Running faster here.
Get up. So.
I got in at 221. 221 right here. All right, mateys.
All right.
Oh, someone's buy stop got triggered as well. Interesting. Your stop loss should be under the last wick. Yeah, so my stop is under this current 15-minute candle because, since it's pushing up, that's where my stop is. So I think it's a pretty good stop loss. So now I'm anticipating this 15-minute to break the high of the previous 15-minute and continue moving bullish.
Based on the hour, first half of the hour is correct, the low side of the candle as well.
Yeah.
I think makes sense.
Yeah, Chris, you're right.
Because it's come down, created a big wick, and now it's just starting to create the top half, and the second half of the hour could be the push. We could smash it right up yet. We'll see.
Let's go.
I'm going to make some liquidity, so I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
Oh.
So basically now, since price is back forming bullish, I'm expecting the volume coming in with the New York Open in 30 minutes or closer to that to push price through this resistance. Because price will only break zones once there's volume in the market. We had this big rejection on the 15-minute candle. This 15-minute is bullish. It's about to close. The next 30-minute, it has a lot of volume, so I guess that volume is going to push price through this resistance. This, I would say, is a risky trade, but it was based off how the the 5 minute were rejecting here, making higher highs and higher lows. So that was the premise of these buys. Well, it's moving. I'm gonna secure 10 pips as it starts to move up higher. Hasn't moved up into 10 pips yet. That'll be around 134, 322. Gonna secure 10 pips there at that point.
Here we go.
Perfect. Securing 10 pips here. Awesome. Tightening my stop loss here a little bit. And perfect. So now putting my stops at break even because you want to secure 10 pips. Gonna secure at least some profit.
$30 about to close.
Yeah.
Good.
This was a second trade for today.
It's about to explode. It's gonna go all the way. Just watch 20 pips easy.
Morning, Curran.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
So, on YouTube, if you guys got 10, 11 pips, just give a like on the stream because, now it should continue pushing up. Boom, boom.
Let me go ahead and give that like.
Yeah, that was funny. I close 75%.
Alright, 30-minute candle closed bullish. 15-minute candle also closed bullish. We're coming down to do some sort of make a liquidity wick to possibly continue moving bullish. Currently have a runner and my stops are at break even. Alright, what's this? GBP CAD. My target is above this. Yeah, this looks good. So now you got to see that where you're trying to enter and all that stuff. Like where your stop is going to be, where your take profit is going to be. Oh, my runner got stopped out.
Yeah, man.
Let's take a look at this chart here. UJ. Price make a retest. Yeah, the only problem here would be these wicks here to the left. So if you can see consecutive candles closing bullish, it should continue to work out. Yeah, I think my stop was in the way of the candle. How and where do I send charts? Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it?
So many.
Oh, nice. We got some railroad tracks over here.
God.
Man, this was actually this was a risky trade. You know, once it started to move up, I was like, man, this is gonna continue moving up. But at the same time, had to secure profits. Had to. It was necessity. Wow, that hard rejection. Damn. Man, I've been securing 10, 12 pips since the start of time. And the start of time means since June 2016. I've only been focused on 10 to 12 pips. Started with, like a 10-cent lots, moved to 15-cent lots, 50-cent lots, 1 lots. Last year in March, I started again with 1 lots. I continued on. But the thing about like 10, 12 pips is that you can get that in the first 20 minutes of your session, the 30 minutes of your session, or even the first 10, 15 minutes of your session. And then you have all this time left, and then you're sitting on the charts, and then your brain starts going overdrive. Okay, now I have to take more trades. I have to take more trades because the problem now is since Corona is happening, a lot of people are working from home, and when you're working from home, you have the ability to look at the chart. Like you have that luxury now to look at the chart at any time you want. So that becomes that's not a very constructive way to look at the charts. That now you have time, you look at the charts all the time, because that will then it may put you in a cycles of over trading and over leveraging. So that's bad in that way. So you have to make rules on what to do when you're not trading. Like right now, I know it's 7:30. I took 2 trades. I'm done for the day. My day is over. I'm just gonna go get coffee. I'm gonna talk to Monty over here. Ted's gonna drop by. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna read comments on YouTube.
Monty's about to get dressed. It's a beautiful dress.
Yeah. Kervin's about to get dressed to get some tequila shots to kill Corona.
Trust me, man. This tequila is really good for Corona, not coronavirus touching you.
Yeah. See, so my whole idea about this buy was that 5-minute had a high here, right? So this was the high on the 15-minute, 30-minute, whatever. When this candle started to push up, I was like, okay, you know what? This is gonna continue up to retest that high, and that target was like 15 pips away. And I'm like, okay, perfect. If I can enter now, I can have a 1-to-1 risk reward, and then I can maybe have an opportunity to maybe have that trade running further up. So it went up, got to like 10, 11 pips. I secured positions, and then I had a runner, and I got stopped out. Yeah, it's a very, very strong resistance here on GJ. Because the way this candle got rejected, oh man. I have a question on potential entry on EJ, or should I wait for the candle to close? Let's take a look here. Alright, EJ, 4-hour support. What do you think about a sell right now? I think a sell right now would be very risky. You would want another bearish candle closing here. if a candle closes bullish at the support, then you're looking for a potential buy because it's at a strong support here. So for sells, you'd want price to, maybe you just need to see another bearish candle. All right, UJ. Yeah, I think UJ, I don't know. I don't like UJ at all. Let's pull up UJ. A lot of people are trying to trade UJ. UJ, yeah, UJ does look like, yeah, UJ is bullish, man. UJ is bullish. Look at that. You had resistance here to the left hand side. 15-minute candle closed bullish. This is closing bullish. I mean, if you go to the 4-hour time frame, looking at the 4-hour, it just, and if you were to ask a 5-year-old that, hey man, or hey kid, where do you think the 4 hour is gonna go? You know, say, well, mister, the 4 hour can go up over here. You know, so this could be a good target.
Yeah, get clean candles to the left.
Yep, exactly.
He's retesting that support too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's good.
Cool. Thank you.
How big is this range here? This is, I think it's a decent range for UJ. I didn't close my GJ. Is it bearish short term now? Well, if you didn't close your GJ right now, you should at least know where your stop loss is. I was talking to somebody yesterday and they had buys on GJ and they were in a little bit of a drawdown. And I'm like, where's the stop loss? And he said, I don't have a stop loss. I'm like, okay, so but you have a stop on this one position, so how much are you going to lose if it hits your stop loss? He's like, oh, it's going to be around 60% of my account. I'm like, okay, so are you okay with that? He's like, nope. Like, then you might want to reduce your stop loss. I mean, that account wasn't big. It was like a $500-600 account, you know. But that's the problem with $500-600 accounts. Like,
yeah, but still, man, that's way too much. Even if it's $100 account, right? It's excessive.
Yeah, like in terms of percentage, that's a lot.
You wouldn't be doing that if you had $100,000 account.
No,
guarantee it. But
and that's
you just made the money, but
yeah,
you wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, and that's where the good habits are built as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from like smaller accounts. So if you look at GJ, there's no trade right now in GJ. Nothing.
I think I stirred my coffee the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah, did you turn it clockwise or counterclockwise?
Yeah, I went counterclockwise this time, man.
Oh, man.
My bad, dude.
Should have done clockwise.
Yeah. Not good.
Hey, Rafa. Okay. What do you think about funded accounts? I think funded accounts... Yeah, I mean, go ahead, do the funding accounts if you think. I don't think nothing about it because I have no idea how they work. Why don't you do a challenge of turning 1K to 100K? You will be famous. I don't want to be famous. My entire March performance is on Instagram. I just realized that yesterday.
I saw that, man. It's impressive.
I was gonna say it's pretty impressive.
Oh,
Great market.
Yeah, the entire thing. During March, I didn't worry about how much I was actually making. It was just numbers.
Do the process. That's it.
Process. But you know, like, to be honest, most of my wins were on gold, like 100 pip wins, 90 pip wins.
Earlier in the month was good. Gold was it first 2 weeks? Really good.
Yeah.
Oh man, crazy.
Yeah.
Gold was
You saying you were just looking at pips?
Yeah, but like the thing is, gold was moving so much. Like I'd aim for like 20 pips, gold would move 60 pips, 70 pips.
Yeah.
I remember that one day it dropped like 100 pips in like a second. As soon
Yeah.
as you went.
Yeah,
Like if-
well, that day I booked 100 pips in 7 seconds.
Yes.
Actually, I entered the trade. I told my guys, "Hey, I'm selling gold," and 7 seconds later, the trade was closed, and the take profit was 100 pips.
Yeah.
It was that one that Rakeel was going to close at 10 pips, and Simon and me were like, no, hold it. And it
Yeah,
went another
Simon
80,
came
90
on.
pips. Yeah. that was a good one.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was a blessing. That week I booked more than 160 pips in that week.
Damn.
And basically 500 pips of those were mostly gold.
Man, to be honest, if it wasn't for gold this much, I wouldn't have even did 50% of what I did.
I mean, we had some good trades on GJ as well. Some of the big pushes. I mean, Carlo's still holding one now, I think, from lot 130s or something like that.
130.
Was it? I can't remember. Was it 130 or 131? Either way, it's just a long way. It's 300 and something pips, I think.
130.7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good trade.
I still think if it breaks 134, 300, we're going to go bullish. This is just noise right now. Or what if this move down is a 30-minute wick just like it did right here?
Yeah. I was just looking at the same on 15 because it's kind of respecting the support on 15 at the minute. It's just created. It
right
wicked
here?
into it. Yeah, it's not gone past it yet as such, but
yeah,
we'll see. This is very similar to one of the trades me and Cohen took the other week, where it started to get to the top and flip, and then it went miles.
Yeah, this new 15-minute candle is about to start. You know, if this 1 hour candle closes the way it's closing, it could look like this 15-minute candle right here, which went up.
Yep.
Because now if you're looking at candles now, the 15 minutes just ranging here now. See, candles are printing side by side. This means it's consolidating. Maybe try for another buy stop at 134, 300. That's gonna get me into over trading, so I'm not gonna do that.
It makes sense though, because that's then above the 4-hour resistance and stuff as well. So it's a good place.
You're right. Makes sense.
If it makes sense, it makes sense.
But we're here to make dollars, not cents. You get me?
Get me.
That's everyone.
It's pounds, not pences.
Yeah.
Pounds, not pences.
Pennies.
Yeah, that's the correct one, but you know.
Let's see who else got corona here today. Nobody. Man, I think they're paying all these famous people to say we got corona.
My friend came out of the coma, actually.
Oh yeah, you told us about that.
Yeah, very good. He's a doctor in one of the hospitals, and he's well now, so I was really happy.
Don't you look at GU to get confirmation, sense of potential direction? No, and the one big reason why you shouldn't look at GU to see where GJ is gonna go, because once you're looking at in this session, this is pre-New York and London overlap, right? So GU is being influenced by the pound and the dollar. So GU is gonna move irrespective of where GJ moves, because GJ in this session is being influenced by only the pound, because the yen is closed. Is spreads normal on Vantage? Still there, like 5-6 pip spreads. If the next candle closes bullish on GJ 30 minutes, can we enter a buy? Can we enter a buy? Yeah, I think at this point you would want to see a break above 134.300 because you had one candle come up here, got rejected. This candle came up here, it didn't break above it. This candle, you know, it's about to close in 11 minutes, so we're not sure what's going to happen in this candle. But if it closes bearish, it just seems like it's back in this range now, and it's going to get really difficult. Might have to wait a little bit.
Like I said, it kind of did exactly the same thing yesterday at this time. So it could end up just ranging, then we'll pull him back and then ranging for the rest of the day.
What's your spread on GJ? My spread on GJ is 1.3 pip. Yeah, around like 1.2, 1.3 pips. How old was the youngest person? I think it was actually, age doesn't matter. Let's put it that way. Because he's doing really good. What do you think about shorting NZD USD? I think you need to send a chart on NZD USD. What leverage and lot size would you recommend for a beginner? Oh man. Okay, so listen, if someone is a beginner over here, I think you need to watch a webinar on YouTube called Search What is Forex? Watch the first webinar and then watch the signs. If you are new to trading, if you don't know what leverage is, what margin is, what lot size to use, what stops to use, you have to watch the signs. It's on YouTube. Let me see if we can YouTube search it. The sign. You type the signs on YouTube, you'll get this confused naked man there on the screen. That's a new trader right there.
Signs you should be looking for.
Yeah, the signs. This was a really, really good webinar.
It really is, man. It really is good.
You seen it?
Yeah, I watched. Yeah, I watched everything, mate. Yep.
That's the first webinar I ever saw on Forex.
Very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
There's a lot of good stuff in it.
The first webinar.
No, I had to go through that several times. It wasn't, you know, it was a lot of information.
Yeah.
I think it's like 5 hours long, isn't it?
Yeah, 5 hours. 4 hours 15 minutes.
But there's another one too, right?
Yeah, Signs 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say something funny at 5:50?
You need to really think about the situation you are in right now, because when you start trading from a psychological point that, okay, like let's say you are wealthy, right? Let's say you have abundance of wealth. Your parents were rich, right? Let's say that you were a trust baby, right? Like a trust fund baby, and you grew up. You're like, okay, so I have all this money, and now I'm gonna start trading. So you start trading fearless, right? Because you don't have any responsibilities or you don't have anyone to take care of. But when you are somebody who has responsibilities, right? If you are working
Raja, can you do the walking naked in front of your girlfriend challenge? Well, I don't have a girlfriend, so I can't do that. All right. Let's take a look at this chart here. Oh, nice. You made it work. Perfect. On UJ. See, now there's nothing really going on, you know, so just waiting. Some people are in buys. They're just waiting for resistance to break. Gold is at support. Gold has big news coming tomorrow. It's probably going to wait till then. So, you know, like, trading is 80% just watching the candles form.
Yeah, wait, there was a lot of waiting in London.
Yeah.
There's a lot of waiting today.
Who was the guy talking about economy? Oh, that was Ted. Ted was talking about economy. He knows a lot about economy.
That was me.
Yeah, there he is.
Morning,
Oh,
good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. I am here.
Always lurking.
Only here because Uncle Ted keeps shouting you out. Yep, that's what I keep doing.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Hey, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So you know we're talking about when we're looking at the ranges, right? So let's just say the average day range on GJ is, say, well, from what I've got up on my laptop, it's about between 30 and 35 pips. But like over the course of the day, you know, she's moved over 100, so say 130. Do you think that that's probably why we're starting to see some ranges, because it's already exhausted its move, or is does that play a fact?
Well, it depends which range you're looking at, right? I mean, I can't see your chart, so I'm not sure where you have your zones plotted and which range you're basically looking at. But from what
I've basically done, I've taken the period separator, obviously with the day, and I've just taken the lowest point it was in a day to the highest point it was in a day, and then that's just basically how I worked the movement that it's made.
I think you need to send a chart so I know what you're basically talking about. Because like from what I understand is you're measuring the bottom of the daily candle till the top of the daily candle.
Well, I've actually got on a 30-minute chart, so I've just measured it from where we've got that large movement that obviously happens sometime throughout the morning, and then I've just taken the bottom of that to where it currently is now, which is probably just last 30-minute candle.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Paul.
No, all good, man. I'll whip something up and I'll send it through.
Yeah, just send a chart, because when you send a chart, that shows me exactly what you're thinking and what you're seeing.
All good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Come on the mic more often, man. I appreciate it.
No worries.
Because the ranges I have are this one right over here. We have a range right here, this one. And then this is the next range. And then this is the next range.
Yeah, all about 40, 50 pips, I think. That's kind of what I've got too.
Yeah. Do you guys still trade on NFP week? Yeah, I mean, you can find opportunities. Found 2 opportunities this morning, buys on GJ. What broker do you use? I use Unlimited FX Markets.
Dash.
Yes. Ooh, UJ flipped. Couldn't break above those wicks there. Just filled the wick.
It stopped out.
Yep. It's easier to split ranges. I think it's you're gonna make your life way easier if you just split ranges like this. You know, because now you know that okay, if once price breaks and closes above 134.300, there's a very high chance price is gonna continue bullish because now it's in a new range. From your experience, have you found that GJ is more sensitive to 134? No, I've never looked at it in that sense. All I'm looking at is that this is resistance here and this is some sort of support and price is in the middle, and I don't want to trade in the middle so far. Wow, this scan is about to close. Close bearish. So see now on the 1 hour, this is your support right here on the 1 hour. So we're in this range. Once we break this support, we're coming down. If we break this resistance, we're heading up. Lots of waiting to do now. Oh, someone donated $5. Thank you. Perfect. Finally, I can put this towards my TradingView subscription. Nice. Currently, is the strength meter useful? So let's take a look at this Chinese indicator over here. This strength meter is saying GBP is strong, CAD is weak. So according to this, GP CAD should continue going up. USD is strong, JPY is weak, so this means GJ and UJ should continue going up. So I don't trade UJ. Let's take a look at GP CAD here. Let's see if this actually works. Okay.
So GN makes sense actually.
Yeah, GN also makes sense.
Yeah, just looking.
Oh, GP CAD does make sense. Yeah, I mean, GP CAD makes sense here. The 1 hour candle closed bullish above resistance. So you can have a stop below the 1 hour candle, which will be 27 pips, which is pretty good for GP CAD. Target could be this wick fill, 28 pips, 1-to-1 risk reward. Yeah, perfect. So, you know, if this 30-minute candle closes bullish, I think you can take this will be a good buying opportunity to continue on. So now you'll want the support to hold. Why do I always talk myself into trades?
That's the problem, right? When you're on this, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
Someone will show me a chart, and I'm like, "That looks really good."
Yeah, this looks good for a buy now.
You have to be so disciplined. I found that massive recently.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mac.
What up, Mac?
Good morning.
How much will consumer price index affect UJ? Let's take a look here. First of all, you need to identify what consumer price index is. So, oh no, consumer confidence. Okay, let's see. All right, so it's a financial confidence is a leading indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for a majority of overall economic activity. Perfect. So now we know that this is a measure of how much money people are likely to spend. Since what's his name, man? Yeah, Daniel Savage is here. He spent a lot of money, so that may increase the consumer index. But We'll have to wait for the numbers to come out. So they're expecting it to be low. So now you got to see that, okay, how often does this comes out? This comes out. Oh, I don't know how often this comes out. Next release is going to be 28 April. So after every month, you know. So now you see that, okay, maybe in March. So March is going to be, yes, it's going to be March numbers. I think April numbers are going to be way less because, you know, people have no jobs. I mean, like, you know, like big job cuts are happening now. So less spending is happening now as well. But this also happens after my trading time, so I'm not concerned with what happens with this news. Yeah, GP CAD is gonna continue moving up. The 15-minute broke the high of the previous 15-minute, which it has now a high probability to continue bullish. And if it closes bullish, the next 15-minute candle has even a higher probability to continue bullish. So yeah, we'll keep out. We'll keep an eye on this. Where do I send my chart? I don't even know anymore. Well, if you scroll down, you'll see a video in description. And you need to watch that video and then you'll be able to send charts. If price hit 133.930, have chance for back because see for pullback support. 133.930. Yeah, so this becomes your strong support. Now, if price comes back down to the support, and if you see a support forming here, let's say you see a bullish candle forming, that would be a much, much better confirmation for price to, like, you know, bounce off this area. But now it just comes down to the fact that, okay, now you have to wait for price to come all the way down here, then form a bullish candle, which will give you confirmation. You know, but that support can be formed anyway. That support can form here as well if this candle closes bullish. So that's why it's very important to just wait.
Hey, Rakeel, I sent the chart in the chat. Would you consider this goat shit?
Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This, I'd move to the 30-minute chart to see if there's anything concrete happening. Because from what I see is now we have these wicks over here and maybe another resistance up over here. So I'm not sure why you have this black line. Why you got this black line from?
I had it as a higher time frame level of support. Like if you look on the 1 hour, I'm about to send it.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, let's take a look here. So I'm gonna pull up GU here. Oh, there we go. Alright. Oh yeah. Yeah, this makes sense. See, so when you now drop down to the 15-minute, you saw a lot of candles, you know, so that meant goat shit. So when candles are confusing, when they're like closing side by side, it's a good practice to go up like a higher time frame to see if you can see some more information, you know, or if you can see something more concrete. So if I pull up GU here, let's take a look. Pulling up GU on the 30-minute. Yeah, I mean, so far it just seemed like we're creating a support down over here. This was resistance creating a support. If candles breaks above this high, it's going to continue moving up to maybe this area here.
You think I should wait for a 30-minute confirmation?
I don't know. I don't trade GU.
10-4.
Yeah, but like, you know, like if you're looking for buys, I think your stop is going to be down here below the 15-minute candle. but then you're anticipating this resistance to break. Can you check my chart, please? Okay, let's take a look at this chart. All right, what's this? Long position if breaks resistance, short position if support breaks. I think it looks good. It's good, makes sense. Makes sense. You have a wonderful analysis here. You've done on the 15-minute. You've drawn a mini support here. If this support breaks, you have to understand that there's this area here where you had the 15-minute candle wicking out from. So once price comes in, it might cause some issues. It might cause issues of bouncing here as well. So, but looks good so far. Your idea is correct. What you think about GN? Nothing. I think you need to post a chart. Alright, EJ sells. So this is perfect. So from here, you would need to see a candle closing bearish. If this 30-minute candle closes bearish, that will give you more confidence. Okay, now we can continue moving down. But if candles are closing bullish and you're hoping the candles are going to go bearish, then that's not good. Oh, it looks like someone ran to the mic.
Yeah.
Someone ran to the mic to say something.
I was going to say, I guess there's one person. Who's it going to be?
How's everyone doing?
Good, good.
Good, perfect.
Yeah, good man. Lunchtime. It's good.
Yeah.
GJ was ranging throughout London, so I didn't even take anything.
Yeah.
But you caught a good move after that breakout, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Then.
How was your London session, Chris?
Yeah, good mate. All bit rangy and stuff, but caught the same move as rakeel, just as kind of stream ended basically. So yeah, not bad. Makes up for yesterday's messed up a little bit yesterday, but made up for that, so it's good.
Perfecto.
I'll be back. I'll go get some fluids.
Get some coffee.
Oh, someone sent a chart. Keval. Price made a low and then has came back up and tapped into my zone. The last 15-minute closed bearish but weak. Therefore, when the low. Oh, nice. This is good. This is great analysis. Price made a low, came up. Nice.
Yeah, I've also was copying my analysis.
Bro. Man's London. He's London stream. Trust.
Bro.
We know what we're doing.
He's in England. You better be careful, man. Those people get mad really quick.
Trust, we get angry real quick.
The British get really angry.
Matt, you're no longer invited to London stream.
All right. Say no more.
Say less. Yeah, just there's nothing to do. It's just waiting. There's one idea people have that, okay, since price is ranging on one pair, you might want to look at a pair that is trending and try to trade that. I think that's a very bad idea because then you lose focus off of one pair. You know, I've seen GJ for so long. I know GJ from the back of my hand. You know, and And if I had the habit of like, saying, okay, you know what, instead of GJ, I'm going to start going through all these pairs, like let's say USD CAD, and since it's trending, now I'm going to start to look at buys on USD CAD because my pair is ranging. No, you don't leave your partner here. Pairs are your partners. The more you understand them, the better you're going to get at trading. And that's just hard facts. I've seen people, go to other pairs and fail. I've done that myself too, failed. It didn't work. There's no longevity in that.
It's very true.
Just like you have one wife, happy life, that's what's with the pairs too.
I think gold will be a good buy above 1620, to be honest. I'm looking on the weekly chart, and I believe with NFP, this area here should break up, and that will be basically this here will be your liquidity grab, and then we drive. First target would be this area here, 1650, like the top of this wick here, and right to this area here. The way this candle's forming on the weekly, this candle here, what I like about it is the fact that obviously we have this rejection here, which matches up with this area over here, and I believe price was brought down just to go right back up into this area here with NFP. So gold will be very hard to trade this week, in my opinion, because of that. And once NFP numbers come out, I think you're going to have the bull run on gold that we should have. That's the reason why gold isn't moving as well as it is. So if you're watching gold, I would put a price alert around 1620. Put a price alert, even put a price alert around 1615, 1616, just to watch the structure of the market at that point through the multiple time frames and prepare for that movement. Because I really think that once we break, we're going to break up, and an easy target is going to be 1640 into that range again. And then obviously the ultimate target would probably be 1680 if there's continued US weakness. Reason being, fundamentally, is now the stimulus package has gone through, and as the coronavirus starts to stabilize, I think what'll happen is now the market will start to stabilize as well, and that will resume normal weakness. The reason why I say that is because once the virus passes, there's not going to be an instant bounce back in the economy. There's going to be instability, but it's not going to be instability caused by something that we don't understand, such as the virus. It's going to be instability caused by normal economic movement through a recovery phase. So that's where you will have weakness in the US dollar for a couple more months, and that will then push gold back up. And when the economy recovers, I mean, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but look at gold over the last 4 years. It's always done 6-month moves. It's moved up for 6 months and then moved down for 6 months in the year. And if you look at last year, right around June, we started the move that ended up in December, that finished in December. And right now we've started the move now that's continued through. So if they're expecting recovery to start in June, July, August, that's where you'll see potentially gold dip back down for the last 6 months of the year. So the first 6 months we're going to get the high, and then the last 6 months of the year we'll get the low. So it's just something to keep in mind. So if you were to look at the story of gold over the last few years and map out the monthly movements, it tends to move in a half-year cycle. It moves up for half a year and then moves down for half a year. Just take a look at that, and that's what I'm basing my projection on. I mean, it sounds coincidental, but it almost seems like this virus is going to drive it up back to like 16 or 1700 one more time, and then drop the rest of the year as the US economy recovers, because that will strengthen the US dollar. And that's where stability will be brought into the US economy. This virus, once it passes and once all this stimulus package is used and people start entering back into the economy, will drive the US economy stronger again. So when we were looking at a catalyst to say, well, how do we get stability with the US economy? This is going to be the driver of stability, because the Dow, the financial markets, everything is really low right now. And this is going to be the whipsaw to drive it back up. So just, it's something to keep in mind. I'm watching this, and when I was doing my research over the weekend, just understanding, because I'm still in my gold trade, I was trying to figure out, okay, why are we stalling? And the last couple of days we have been stalling at that level with gold. So I was going a little bit deeper, and when I looked at the higher time frames, that's what I sort of reminded myself of, that, you know, there could be a drop a little bit this week. Obviously NFP will push it, and then as we start to get normalized economy in the US, we'll get one more drive up, and then that will begin the catalyst to move down at that point. So it might be a move to 1700 one more time, and then after that we are going back down to 1500.
That's a good outlook. I was looking between, well, I was planning for like 19 to 20.
Oh.
Well, that's not even Mac.
Jeffrey getting beat up by his wife.
Gold analysis sounds reasonable. Isn't gold usually July, December up months? Well, I mean, like I said, if it's up months right now from January to July, then it should be the opposite, right? So you just have to use your brain a bit, right? Like if I say 6 month cycles and this cycle is bullish, the next 6 month cycles would be bearish, right? Like, I mean, it's interchangeable. It's the idea of understanding the pattern, and that pattern will be based on the fact that the U.S. economy stabilizes the later half of the year. You know, I think if you mark this down March 31st, I guarantee you by November, the holiday season, the U.S. economy is going to probably have one of the biggest pushes it's seen in a while for Thanksgiving. Because what people are going to be doing is they're going to be giving thanks that they survived this virus, that all these bad things happen throughout the year, but they still have their family, and they're going to be spending the shit out of things. So, you know, when you think about it logically, just go through the sequence of events and then map that out into an economic forecast. Whenever there's been hardships in the US and they've survived, there's always been a massive rebound because everybody's thankful for who they are. So this holiday season is probably going to be a very big holiday season if the economy starts to recover by, you know, July, August, September, and we start moving again in the US. You're going to see how much of a push there's going to be in the media and also in stores to get people to be spending around the Christmas holidays, which will drive the price of gold down. Everyone will be out of jobs. No, because there's a stimulus package going in to protect you at that point. That's what I'm saying. You have a $6 billion stimulus package going to the United States to stabilize the economy, which is basically a big giant loan to all these industries that they will eventually have to pay back, but the average citizen won't notice that because they're just getting their paycheck. So when you look at the sequence of events, and if you were to make this a movie, the U.S. economy for 2020, if you made this a movie, how do you have a happy ending in the movie? Towards the end of the year, when all the holidays come, everyone's giving thanks to everybody and spending the shit out of their money that they have from the stimulus package. So it's just something to keep in mind. And if you think the world is a movie, that would be the ending of the movie, right? You're all around Christmas time, thankful, and you bought this crap and blah blah blah. What if Corona comes back in the winter of 2020? Well, then everything I just said doesn't matter anymore, right? That's like, what if we have a nuclear war in August? I mean, I'm going on the basis of what we're doing right now, and if everything goes according to that plan. I mean, there's multiple variables. Like, I mean, you can say, what if we have a natural disaster tomorrow?
You know, Ted, like in the UK here, because I have a small business, as part of like the stimulus sort of rescue package, they've given me 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like so to keep going and to survive, really, so that like small people like myself will still be able to survive this, because they know they put money into the system, they'll keep it going. When eventually you have all that pent up buying, thing calms down, then you've got yourself a nice little rocket ship,
Yep. That's sort of why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking in terms of that. Ted, if your analysis matches, we have 2 months for the flip on gold. Yep, it's very possible.
The death toll in New York is like 1,400 now, and the first kid that dies. Do you guys think it's gonna get worse in New York?
Yep.
We're like halfway through it, maybe?
Maybe halfway, if that. I don't even think you're halfway yet. It's all population control, right? Like, you have to. It's you guys have a huge population in that state. It's the same thing in California. These numbers aren't surprising. There's a difference between surprising and alarming, right? The numbers are alarming. They're not surprising. Like that's I think the mistake people make. They look at the numbers and they're surprised by them. If you do the math, you shouldn't be surprised by them because the numbers match up with sort of the average, right? It just sucks. That's just the average. But the problem is with the average, it's bad because of the fact that people are dying, right?
Yeah, you've got these concentrations of high density populations.
That's right. Yeah.
And of course, the numbers are going to be high, and they're and they are because they're real people dying, and
yes,
that's the sort of
the thing that bothers me about New York is that other states caught it first, because caught up to it first, like California, even Florida had a case,
Yeah.
And I knew for a fact, like, how is this not happening in New York when we have such a density of a mass population, and a lot of people coming from other countries and whatnot, and I guess it was just too late.
Well, it was only a matter of time. The biggest problem that the world had is the fact that they didn't act fast enough, and I won't agree with what the reports say that they were acting according to sort of what they were receiving. It's if there's a hurricane coming, even if the hurricane doesn't hit your house, But if there's a trajectory that the hurricane could possibly hit your house, you leave. You just leave. You don't sit there and gamble and say, well, maybe it's not gonna hit my house. You just board up your windows and you leave. It's the same thing that should have been happening here. As soon as this crap started, they should have shut the airports down and said, hey, listen, everybody, you're stuck in one spot. Sorry, until this thing passes, there's no air travel. And yeah, you would have pissed a whole lot of people off. You would have angered the cities. But you know what? For a week, you would have not had what we have now, because 90% of transmission now has been through people who have traveled. If you look at the stats, it's all people that have traveled, that are coming back from other countries that have spread everything. It hasn't been, in the suburb of this area, suddenly there was a mass outbreak of it. No, it's been, hey, we've traveled somewhere and something's happened. But no government, and this is the problem with most governments, is they're not run by business people, they're run by politicians. And usually politicians are arts majors, right? They go into legal, they go into political science, things like that. They're not in business. So they weigh the option in terms of how long can we do this and what are the outcomes, or what are the next steps, right? Let's do things in stages where, if my business is getting robbed every single day, I'm not going to open up the business the next day to be like, oh, maybe I won't get robbed today. I'll figure out why the hell I'm getting robbed before I open my business again.
Right.
Where it won't be, well, if I get robbed tomorrow, that's when I'm going to stop running my business. It's like once I get robbed once or twice in a week, there's a problem. And that's where none of these governments reacted fast enough, because they said, well, we'll see how people react. Like telling people to do social distancing. People don't follow the rules to begin with when they're enforced. You're not even enforcing anything. Like, this is the dumbest thing in the world. Oh, stay 6 feet away from people. How many people speed on the highway? Like, you're telling people to do things where there's no oh, there goes GJ.
I just broke my resistance while I was typing my chart.
It was a new 30-minute candle.
Yeah, I got it too.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I just got it. Didn't even.
Good job.
Very nice.
Okay, yeah. So like they were not prepared at all.
No.
I mean, everything started as a joke. Even though the president of the United States, he was believing it was something because of the Democrats and that crap. I mean, at that point, if you close borders and if you shut down the country, then you're going to be in trouble, basically. Because what happened later on, if this is just a small virus, nothing that is so big to close the entire country. That's the thing. At that point, it's not easy to close any country, even though you're going to have some deaths.
Wow, what a rejection on GJ.
Yeah, that was a move. That was just a retest.
If you didn't close,
now you're in trouble. Yeah.
You held. I was waiting for a break above 134, 340 for safe buy, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I just got slipped.
I was typing my chart, and I saw this thing just poof.
Yeah, basically, I saw this 30-minute candle closing bullish as creating support. So I entered, and I have my stop loss below the previous 30-minute candle. That's an easy trick.
Yeah, now in Ontario, they're really trying to force the law. Like they were talking about handing out fines now. Like if you're in a group of more than 5 people.
Oh yeah, that definitely should be applied.
It's stupid because they can't force it. They can't enforce it. They can't even enforce normal rules. How can you enforce rules that you're making up now? Like, it's just so dumb.
What, you were talking about Canada?
Yeah, just in general. They're like, oh, we're gonna like the mayor of Toronto. We're gonna fine people up to $700 if they don't maintain 6 feet from each other. You guys can't even enforce parking tickets and speeding tickets. How are you gonna enforce pedestrian walking? Like, I mean, it's just. Like when people talk like that, I just sit there and just like, you're stupid. Like, I mean, unless you're going to bring in the army and have people stand on street corners and have martial law, you're not enforcing anything. You're just talking to give people like the 10% of people that actually are law-abiding citizens, that never jaywalk, that drive exactly the speed limit, that always use their indicator, that pay their taxes on time, that have 2 kids, a dog, and a white picket fence. Those are the people you're appeasing.
Yeah.
When you create those stupid rules. It's the perfect family that it goes outside and like, guys, it's time to go on the weekends. Yeah, it's time on the weekends. It's time to go volunteer. Time to have family dinner every night of the week. Oh, wife cooked a 6-course meal. Dad goes to work at 9 o'clock in the morning, comes home at 5. Like, those are the kind. They make these rules up for people that don't exist.
Food bit exists for me, bro.
Are you guys allowed to go out during the rest of the day, for example? Because in my country, from 5 p.m. you cannot go out.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen in Canada.
No.
Really?
Yeah, never.
No,
Too many people.
If you go out after 5 o'clock, they're gonna send you to the police station, and you have to pay like €100 for that because you hang out. Just like they are forcing people to get inside of the homes. It just like doesn't make sense. You know?
Yeah, but there's in Europe, some countries are more regulated.
We have just only 100 cases. You know, just like they all came from Italy. Some of them came from Swiss, Germany. But they cancel every flight from that part because they saw the number of people are getting more worse. If we don't have people who come from outside, we're not gonna have even one case in our country. But they came here and just like got infected everybody here. Came like part of family, you know, just like they live in Germany. They came here for a couple days and they didn't know that, but now they are with Corona. It just sucks.
What caused this big move on GJ? I'm not sure. Maybe everyone trying to buy GJ, but I'm not sure. Maybe that was just a.
There's an announcement from Federal Reserve. I don't know if that affected.
Yeah, maybe that could have been it. Yeah, maybe that could have been.
I made more coffee just in
Because
case.
mostly for U.S. businesses. But
Yeah, but like once it went down to like 15, 20, I closed. I was like, oh, this is way too much. GPCAD looks like also did what we expected it to do earlier on. You know, we were looking at GPCAD. Damn.
I think we also just had CAD GDP.
Yeah, I think that was around now, wasn't it?
Yeah. Numbers were bad as well.
Oh, nice.
I think.
Yeah. CAD is in the shit, man. CAD, our economy, we are doing so bad, it's not even funny. This is going to continue up to 1.8. Yeah, mate. So right now, just nothing. Done for the day. You should be happy. You took wins. You know, secured profits.
Yep.
If people are looking at that candle on GJ that just broke above 134,200, basically 134,280. If you go back, and this is the thing that people are lacking when they're trading, is if you go back and you look, the same thing happened yesterday at this time, and the same thing happened multiple times last week at this time too. So if you were smart, you would probably have picked that up. That's the reason why Rakeel picked it up, Kerwin picked it up. It's because the same things were happening every single time or every single day at this time. At 8:30 a.m. there's usually some weird random push with GJ, and that's exactly what happened. It's not new. It's not something that you can say, oh, why did that happen? It's you look back at the charts every single day at this time, and this is where Raja said this, I've said this. You study the session that you trade so that you know all the possible nuances of that session and where you're going to get pushes, where you're going to have potential spikes, things of that nature, because it happens more often than not. The problem is people just don't want to put the time in to do actual statistical tracking. If you break down the USA session, if you go through a whole year's worth of data and break down the USA session and mark it out like a pattern and into like a chart where you have multiple fields in your chart and you tick the box how many times things happen, you'll notice there's multiple instances where that spike happens, I would say 2 or 3 times out of 5 days a week. It's just usually we're still in the trade, or usually GJ's trending, and there's usually a movement like that. People don't pay enough attention to the charts, and then they say, oh, well, why did that happen? You would know why it happened because you'd be able to take your information that you've learned, and all you're doing, you don't even need software for that. Open up a chart on the weekend and go through every single day from the last year and just start marking down how many times you see certain things on certain hours during your session. And now you can start to anticipate, because if you've seen the same move happen 60% of the time in the North American session, you can now then map that out and say, okay, more likely than not, if I see this occurrence, chances are this will happen and I'll be able to make some money off of it.
Yeah, we had exactly the same thing this morning. In London on GJ, pushed up exactly. Well, recently it's not been doing that actually. It's kind of a consolidation time. The last 2 or 3 days done the same thing. Well, 2 days, sorry. We saw the same thing happen again today and then get back up to the high point, which we just got to basically. It's exactly the same move on 30 minute.
It's just like a lot of the questions or a lot of the information that I know of or that I've learned has just from me just sitting in front of a chart for like a few hours on like a Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon and just circling things, highlighting things, and just asking why that happened and trying to come up with reasonable explanations.
Yeah, there's a difference between sitting there and looking at the candles and actually doing something though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like actually writing stuff down, actually mapping out like how many times this has happened, why did this happen, what's the fundamental information behind it, things of that. You know, people just don't want to do that. They just want to click buy or sell because they've drawn 2 lines. But the reason you draw 2 lines is because you've gone through the charts to understand why that's the possibility at that point.
Yeah. I used to do back testing, literally just do back testing. Oh, that was a good session. Until I started thinking, you know what, if I actually started writing down what I was learning, this might actually make a difference.
Well, it's like I never used a simulator. Like when I back tested, I never used a simulator. I literally went through the charts and said to myself, hey, these are big candle moves. Why did that happen? Like, how could I catch those trades? Like, I went through so many charts where it's just like, wow, that was an amazing move. How, if I was there at that time, how would I have been able to figure that move was coming?
Yeah.
And that's what that is what has built my foundation on how I'm able to trade and how I'm able to have a successful trading opportunities, because I've always looked and been like, oh, I've seen that before. I know that there's a possibility this is going to happen, and it's not going to be the exact same idea every time. It's going to be more the fact that, okay, what's a permutation of one of my ideas? Like when I was talking about gold, I've seen gold complete that whole range to 1663 or 1650. I haven't seen it do it yet, but there's been instances where I've seen the same sort of idea and the same sort of fundamental information. So in my head, I can plan that out and say, okay, if we break this certain level, that means we have the momentum to go to the next level, because I've seen this happen before in other instances while I've been trading gold. It's not me just randomly speaking, it's me applying the information that I've learned from other ideas. That's where I'm able to apply that information and say, this is the probability of me thinking this is going to happen. It's sort of like being a weather forecaster. I mean,
It's just pretty. It's being able to have that confidence because you've seen it and you understand.
That's right.
That, you know, you can kind of pre-plan, and that's where you can plan, but then you can plan in more in depth by looking at different time frames, stuff like that. And if you've seen it before, it makes a big difference.
It does, yeah.
Huge difference. Because it's as if you can see it before it's there, if that makes sense. It's what you'd like to happen, and if you see the signs of it happening, that's when you can get in earlier than you probably would before. So it makes a big difference. Because what you said about gold earlier is kind of simple. I wasn't looking that far, to be honest, but I was looking between 1619 and 1627 as a potential buy area, depending on what goes on before Friday. And that's what I wasn't even looking that far, but when you look at it on the high time frames, it makes a lot of sense to be going. It has potential to go that far, right? So you can broaden your horizons a little bit.
Okay, guys, I must go for a run.
Well, if you must.
Yes, must. And I shall see you guys when fate brings us together again. Thank you kindly for your good company, sirs and madams.
See you later, dude.
Take care, buddy.
Take care.
Take care.
Yeah, I'm off as well.
Okay, man. See you later, dude.
This was a good
like
trade by Alex.
And I felt like I was at medieval times.
See you later, fellas. Oh, Vikings. You seen Vikings?
Yeah, I know. I felt like I was on Vikings, and it's like dinner and a show here. Till we meet again.
Is there spread slippage issues on a demo account, especially on NFT? Yes. But you shouldn't even be worried about slipping on demo account.
Exactly.
You shouldn't even worry about that. Like, I took this in after I don't know what. How much is a good amount to start trading Forex? A good amount to start trading Forex is something you are okay to lose.
Talking of okay to lose, are we having a gamble on Friday or not?
Yeah, I'm gonna put up a gamble.
Yeah, I think I might have a little play this week. It's gonna be like a one-off number.
Yeah. But you know, at the same time, like you should also be like afford to trade too. You know, like you have to be able to afford to trade. Like starting with a $200 account, $300 account, it's all well and good, but ideally you should be able to start off with 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000.
Yeah. It's no good if it's your last $200.
Yeah, you know,
not the way.
And even like small, tiny accounts, it's really hard to stay disciplined on small, tiny accounts like $500, $600. So it should be something big enough, like 1,000, 2,000, so that once you're making like 2% gains or 5% gains, they actually mean something to you.
Yeah, because it's so easy if you got $100 account to lose $10, and that's nothing in your head. That's 10%, man. That's way too much.
Yeah, I think people have a hard time grasping that on a smaller amount, and it's not their fault. Like it's a small amount.
Well, $10 is what, you know. It's not really a lot, is it? If that makes sense. But if that was the other way around, you were dealing with a 100k account. Trust me, you wouldn't be risking that much.
Even like 100 on 1,000 is still good. You're like, oh, I made $100 today.
Exactly that.
But for NFP this week, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be gambling because it's gonna be easy to know that the numbers are gonna be fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested to see how it plays out now. Like, what's it gonna do the next couple of days? It's interested me.
And to be honest, this weekly candle, this week, I hope we get at least to 105.50. To be honest, on UJ, it's gonna be a pretty nasty move. I hope the UJ doesn't move earlier this week, so we can get that heavy move on Friday.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering at gold, if we're going to start to see a pretty big move before.
But at least I'm looking for 150 pips on UJ for that drop.
Nice.
See, if you have $1,000 account and you are basically making, let's say, aiming for $50 a day, you know, you're being disciplined, you know the rules, you're following the live streams, you come on here, you do that and this and that. So there are 21 trading days. So let's say out of those $50 you make, let's say $25 a day, right? That comes up to, how much is this? $525 a month, right? So if you have, let's say you have a job. From that job, you get around $2,500 a month. You know, now your income has gone up by $500. Now you made $3,000 that month. You know, and like in an average person's life, like extra $300, $500, that makes a huge difference every month.
And the biggest thing that people don't realize is they are comparing the income that they make to trading that they would make at a job, and they say the income in trading is not enough. The problem I have with that statement is you are not evaluating your income from trading versus your income from a job in a apples to apples comparison. And what I mean by that is if you sit down and you think about your job that you have to go to today or whatever you go to, and you say, well, when I go to my job, I make $200 for the day or $100 for the day, but when I trade, I only make $15 for the day. You are missing some key components that will be able to balance that equation out. And what I mean by that is, A, do you enjoy your job versus do you enjoy trading? So if you enjoy trading more than you enjoy your job, the $15 you make, you now subtract $15 or $20 off of the $100 you made in working as job satisfaction. The $15 you made trading that took you only an hour to do, but the $100 you made that took you 8 hours to do, now take another $15 or $20 off that $100 because you're there for eight hours to make that $100. Then calculate your commuting costs. Then calculate the cost of your freedom. And suddenly the $15 that you made trading today, or the $10 or whatever amount you made, starts to seem really good because you made $15 doing something you enjoyed. You had full flexibility, you had full freedom, and you had full job satisfaction because it's something that you wanted to do, compared to a job where you're regulated, restricted, have a boss more than likely, doing something you probably don't like, and doing the same thing every single day and not changing that job. So don't think of just the dollar amount when you're trading and saying, hey, the dollar amount isn't enough for me to live. Think of holistically the entire approach to earning that dollar amount and the experience you had enjoying that amount, making that amount and enjoying yourself at that point. The problem is people don't look at the full picture. They look at the fact that I hate my job and I earn $100 a day, but I need to replace that income. You probably won't want to replace that income right away if you know that you can finish working, trading in 30 minutes and having the rest of the day to work on something else or do something else. And as you start to supplement your income, now you don't have to work at your job as much. And that's the key, is trying to put away enough money for yourself so that you don't have to work as many hours at your job, and you can start transitioning over to trading full time so that you now are enjoying yourself, and trading will become much more enjoyable because you don't have added noise of, well, I had to wake up early today, I had to go do my job, I'm tired, I have work to do after my job, my commute sucked, I got soaking wet because of the rain. Like, all these small little variables add to the enjoyment of your life. You think when it's a snowstorm outside I go outside? No, don't care. Everybody else has to go to work though. They all complain, oh man, the bus got stuck, the roads are crappy, there's traffic everywhere. No, I didn't notice it. My job satisfaction is 100%. And people aren't looking at that as a whole picture. And when you start doing that and you say, hey, listen, the $15 or $500 I made this month is supplementing my current income, and now I'm able to put that towards bills that I didn't do, suddenly you have an extra $500 that you're saving in your pocket. And it gives you that satisfaction that you are improving, that you are progressing. It's the biggest thing that you can do for yourself, is understanding that, hey, I'm making money trading and I'm also working full time. I'm part-time trading and making money. I have 2 streams of income. Suddenly the world starts opening up, because you're like, well, I'm making money at this trading stuff and I don't really have to worry too much about my job. I can do my job, but I know that I'm getting out. And you know, as you start to make more money with your trading, your jail sentence, quote unquote, from your job starts to come to an end. Every time you lose money trading, you have to go back to work. Start giving yourself positive reinforcement. Every time you make money, understand that, hey, this is probably one less day I'll have to be at work soon. And you know, you just have to start looking at it from a holistic view and say to yourself, hey, like, every time I screw up trading or every time I take losses with trading, I'm stuck at my job longer. So you decide. If you want to punish yourself, do that. If you want to take your time, build your account slowly and be like, hey, I'm on my way out, it's a better feeling. And the thing is, with trading, there's going to be trades that sometimes are going to run longer and they're going to do better than what you expected, and that's just an added bonus. You know, and just really put yourself in that position to say, hey, like, today I'm trying to aim for 3%. Whoops, I got like 8% because the market moved really well. Perfect. Now you're closer to your goal.
Yeah, you know, like this move, this was an extra push up. I was hoping for 10-12 pips as usual, but this pushed up higher. So, you know, sometimes you catch those big golden trades.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this 30-minute. Wait, I'm waiting for this 30-minute close. Where say buys about 130 to 280.
Yeah, I nearly took an entry on 5 minute, but I decided against it in the end.
Are you closed?
No, I just didn't go with it. I'm good for today, I think.
Yes, 4 hour very cool GJ.
Yeah. 1 hour is closing the open. After they will close above that resistance.
Yeah, that target will be fine. The 134 700.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking about, maybe getting in for
Yeah,
the hour.
But yesterday 9 a.m. It was like a huge pullback.
That's why I kind of declined it. I was thinking what happened yesterday, and it kind of pulled back in eventually, didn't it?
But you see, yesterday the I think it's these candles here. They didn't close above the resistance. Like I think Ted said it. This one did not close. It pulled back. So any early entries got but this one, it closes above this area. Should be good.
Hey guys, it's Paul again. My first chart that I've just sent through. I sent it through to you, Raja. I know I probably didn't do it via the right channel, but I'll get it right next time. So you can check it out for me.
Okay, got it. Let's take a look here.
And kind of like what I'm thinking of, I've populated it, so correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Like you have when this candle closed bullish, so that indicates a support has been formed, and the next one now
Mhm.
has a higher chance to go up to retest this high over here. But it eventually it went through this resistance and went higher.
Correct. And when I was saying on my original question, when I was talking about the range, so where you see that first black dot that I got versus that second one, throughout the course of the day, naturally a pair is going to go through its average. But when it comes to like this time of the evening, if we've exhausted it, isn't that why we'll probably see some sideways movement, or is you just trade it as it is?
Well, you trade it as it is, but you're also keeping in mind that since it's evening there, it's still a very high volume session right now, because right now this is the New York and the London overlap.
Okay.
So this is where there's a lot of volume, a lot of orders are coming in. You know, like news announcements are happening. They are like, you know, like most of the time you have news at this time as well. You know, so once news comes out, this is the time when news really gets absorbed into the market and the market starts acting on those movements or on those changes, right? So there's a lot of stuff happening right now. So
sweet.
That's what you need to keep in mind, that when there's so now after I'd say like 5 hours, 4 hours, when it's like almost like afternoon time here, then you can say, okay, we could see some sideways movement, because the London is closed and New York is about to close, you know, so there's less volume at that time.
Awesome, thanks for that. And just one more thing regarding, we were talking about the spread before, so where it's 1 or 2 pips. When you're factoring in on your take profit, so to speak, are you factoring in that spread, so you're getting your 10 on average?
Yep.
Good.
Because if you look at your MetaTrader, it starts counting your spread when you go in positive. You know, like it starts off with negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for that.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Well, that was a nice close on GG.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Once we break above 134.46, man, it's gonna be a nice move. The target for that move should be 134 750.
I got 540 for one, and the other one is still running. You said 750. Kerwin.
Huh?
You said 750?
Yeah, 750. 134 750. That's gonna be my next target. Once we break above 134 46. But right now, no, because probably we're gonna have a hard time breaking that resistance in the next 15 minutes. We may have a pullback because it's a new hour opening. But who knows? Maybe it just continue moving up, and I'm gonna be waiting up there about 134 460. I'm not gonna take any trades in here.
Okay, what's this? Waiting for candle to close below the zone. Yep, perfect. Looks good. See, so far the 1 hour candle hasn't really closed below the zone. But these rejections also could mean that maybe price is now starting to push up to maybe, you know, like 119, 200 or 119, 100. Because the sells aren't there now. Oh, nice. Secured a trade.
Yeah, so I just marked out the chart here for GJ, just so that you're aware as we come into that zone to be very cautious because of what you see to the left. So the buy could be valid, but at any given point in that area, it could reject. So always be aware of that information.
Yeah.
I had entries right around here at the wick.
Yep. No, I'm saying that, I mean, I do agree with that analysis. I won't take the trade because I don't like this area over here.
Oh, now you're scaring me.
Yeah, no, I heard you the first time. That's why I drew out what I drew.
Thank you.
I agreed with that idea. I was almost going to do it, but then as soon as I saw that, I was like, ugh, no thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you like those clean super moves. Like
Well,
just
yeah.
like once in a.
Why would I want to give away money?
Yeah, that's what put me
No,
off.
I
too.
understand that.
Yeah.
And then we had the same thing yesterday. We had a bit of it was a
It's like,
heavy,
it's like
heavy
you like
pullback.
you only like clean fades.
Yep. I
Look
only
at me,
like easy things. I'm not smart enough to do tough things.
I cut my own hair the other day. It's alright.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was like, I ain't going to no barber shop. This is basically my analysis. It's simple but convenient.
We had a bit of a solid pullback yesterday, didn't we? So that kind of put me off.
The problem I'm facing is even if the trade goes to my target, many times it hits my stop loss with a wick. The wicks are always screwing up my trades. Well, now what you got to do is you need to look at all your trades that are getting wicked out, and then you need to see that whether your stop is at the correct position or not. Oh yeah, Ted said the same thing. Why this zone is danger zone? This is danger zone because this is where price has been price consolidated before market close on Friday. So two things are going to happen. Either price is going to continue moving up, keeping in mind that we did range at London and now we might get the push throughout New York, or price might push up towards maybe like let's say 134,500 and start consolidating here because price was consolidating here before as well. Yeah, so since this 30-minute candle closed above this resistance area, which is good, this one is also forming. I mean, the 15-minute is forming above it. So if it keeps closing above it, that's also pretty good. So, so all those things, they start playing in your favor for price to continue up. So now when price is moving up, you start to identify that, okay, which level should price hold for it to stay up? I think it's going to be safe to say that it should stay above 134, let's say 200 to stay bullish. If it was me, I would just say like if it has to stay above 134, 250 to stay bullish. That I say anticipating that everybody knows that if price comes below 134, 250, then that means it's coming back in the range, and that also means it lessens its chances of going higher.
I think we should be good.
Guys, I'm done for the day. Have a great day, everybody.
That dude.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, perfect. Now we're breaking the high of the previous 30 minutes, so it's gonna be safer.
That's what I do.
Do you in this guys, Mac?
Yeah, I got in at 134, 300.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, just be careful. Secure profit. Well, I mean, stop loss, whatever. Manage your trade, basically. I'm not gonna tell you anymore.
Okay.
Just be careful.
I think you're good. If you got the entry where Mac got his entry down over here, I think that's pretty good because then your stop loss could probably be right over here.
Yeah.
And this could have been your take profit, so you would have had a nice 20 pip move almost. Like I said, I just don't trust it because of the higher time frames. But if it does break out, you have the best entry because we've come. I'm looking at 134,900 as the overall target, and I can see right now 134,500 easily being hit, and then pulling back again. Because if you look at the higher time frames, so I think it's a good entry. I think it has potential. I would just manage it accordingly, and I think the next half hour, at 9:30. I think that's where you'll see if this move is legitimate or if it just pulls back into the range.
Yeah, if it pulls back, it pulls back to my entry. So
yeah, but I think you're good. I think if it breaks out in the next 10 minutes, I think you're safe at that point.
Yeah.
I'm up 10 pips. I'm not gonna get greedy. I'm gonna close one position at 10 and let the other one run.
Yeah, this is gonna keep running.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I've seen this a lot. I've seen this a
I
lot
think
recently.
I'm gonna get my name on a video today.
You are. It was a good entry.
Thank you.
Ooh.
And there's 500. So if you're in the trade, that's where I'd be looking to close, to be honest, or secure profits.
Okay, I close one and let the other one run. I don't know. I don't think I should let the other one run. To be honest, I've had bad luck with running maybe.
Well, I mean that's a good point. So Mac, you brought up an idea that a lot of people talk about is, should I let a runner run? It's like, well, if you haven't been having success with them, secure your profits.
No, I actually closed both right now.
Good work.
Yeah,
Man.
I saw that pullback from the 1 minute and even the 5, and I was like, no. It's a lot of rejection, and plus that danger area, I don't like it.
Yep.
So you've got to assess your stats, what you see from your own trades. If it's causing you a problem and it's like, oh, you stopped out all the
Yeah,
time.
it causes me. It's more psychological because I know that I entered one position and I know that I could have had a way better entry. I mean, a way better profit at one point, and it just fucks me up. Oh, excuse my language, but it does.
Yeah, the thing is, if it's a
it
push
messes my mentality.
Yeah, for sure. If it's a push like 50, 60 pips, you might consider different, So, maybe it's too close right now, and it will. But I've seen that a lot on a 15-minute recently, where you get your bullish candles, but like the second one, the one that created the big wick, and then the second one doesn't quite reach the top. Then it pulls back, and the next one kills it. I've seen that a lot recently.
Yeah, I've seen that so many times, and then you're like, damn, why didn't I close both of them at the same time?
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
Even though I have it charted out on my trading view, it's the first target to be 134, 750. I think that said that.
Yeah.
Or someone said that. Yeah. And I'm not gonna risk it, so I'm just close that.
That's a good trade, man. I think it's a good trade.
Yeah, the first target was 134, 495, 500. I think that was a reasonable target. Then I think after that, we'll get to 134, 900. I think those are the two targets that I'd be keeping in mind for GJ in terms of the higher time frames.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me now, the 4 hour closed above the previous resistance on 4 hour, which is really keen. That's good for me.
Yeah, like this would be good. This 15-minute candle here is good. If it stays bullish, what I'd like to see I'd like to see another wick down into this area here, and then this continue to drive further up. So what you're doing now is you're filling all this area, and then you're filling in this new wick, and you're getting that move similar to what you have over here as an example. Like I'm looking for this particular candle, like this candle idea here. Let me see if I can get this done properly. Like this candle idea, I'm looking for it similar to fill out over here with the next candle over here at that. I think that's what I'd be looking at to see this to go up to like the 700 range at that point.
Yeah.
The other confluence I have is the daily candle's gone bullish fully now.
Yep.
The weekly candle is bullish, and it looks like it's going to fill into that previous weekly range at that point. So if you're looking at the higher time frames, I think 900 is very achievable, 134, 900. And if it breaks above that, your next target would probably be 136. Obviously, you're going to have to fight through like 135, the 135, 600 area. But ultimately, if you look at the weekly time frame, there's a weekly bullish or weekly bearish candle on GJ that we should fill because we have oh, perfect. Rakeel pulled it up. These candles over here. No, sorry. Let me get a better color. These candles over here. We should have clean traffic over here. So that's I would expect us to have a bullish candle probably over here somewhere or something similar because we had very, very strong movement on the daily right in that area at that point.
Yeah, I think you've got some solid level up to 35 now on a 4 hour.
Correct.
That's exactly what I was looking at, which is kind of what I was trying to hold that trade from earlier, and it's caught me out, but still.
Man, GP Cat is still running here.
That's played out nice.
We call this a very nice one.
You know, the Chinese indicator as well worked up pretty well on GN.
Yeah. No, the Chinese indicator.
Look, by GN. That's it. But yeah, that's gone flying. That is.
Anyone else holding GJ or no?
No, I got stopped out in my first trade this morning. Just you, man. You've gone solo.
You were laughing because I have an Xbox One from like 7 years ago. I got the old.
Man, this trade GJ, it was a simple matter of just price came to resistance, just waiting for this support to form.
Yeah, well, you took the lines up.
Yeah. Candle closed bullish, and it was just like simple, straightforward. All right, bye.
Look at my chart. Basically, that's what I was looking at. It's just so simple. So you can show everyone.
All right, hold on. Yeah, looks good. You'd want candle to close below this gray zone to go down.
Oh shit!
Oh, nice.
And basically what I wrote there is just wait for a break above resistance, and that's it. Simple.
Yeah, that's well planned out, dude.
Yeah, the simplest idea is if you have 3 or 4 time frames, and on the higher time frames we're going in the same direction, that's trading. Like, I mean, don't overcomplicate things, and I don't understand why people do this. Is if the daily's bullish, the weekly's bullish, the 4 hours bullish, the hourly's bullish, the trade's going up. That's it. That's all you have to think of. It's I know it's counterintuitive because you think there's something beyond that, or if this is too easy, but that's what it is. It's like if you go to the casino and you play blackjack and you get a 20 and the dealer flips over 19, you win. Yeah, it was easy. That's the whole point. Like that's what happens. Like there's no secret behind that. Like, you're not going to be like, oh well, you know, today dealer wins on 19 and player loses on 20. No, it just so happens because there's going to be instances where you have all those time frames bullish, you take a buy, and then something stupid happens in the market, and then you lose. But you know what? The majority of times you're going to win if you follow the whole bias of the market. You don't have to be a hero. Don't say, oh well, the 15-minute candle rejected here, so I'm going to be looking to take sells. Meanwhile, every other time frame is bullish. Don't try and call tops and bottoms. You don't have to be a hero. The trend, just write this down on a piece of paper. The trend is going to last for more than one candle. Okay? You will have multiple opportunities to enter a trade if you're following the trend. It's not going to be just one candle that's going to move 600 pips. It's going to be multiple candles that are going to move in that direction. So you have lots of opportunity. The reason why you panic is because you can't find those opportunities, or you haven't studied enough to map out ideas to project those opportunities, to use probability to find those opportunities, to evaluate where the proper opportunity exists. That's why you panic. That's why you turn around and take trades on a rejection of a 15-minute candle because you're like, oh, this is my entry to go down now. Now we're going bearish. That's incorrect way of thinking. You're chasing a trade because nobody knew that the 15-minute candle was automatically going to go bearish suddenly. There was no confirmation when you have 8 bullish candles in a row. So you have to understand that when you're trading, you trade with probability and you trade with discipline, and let the market play the hand and just follow it. Just follow it. You're not going to be successful as a trader by trying to be the first one in every single trade. You're not going to be successful because there's going to be instances where you make silly mistakes and that costs you a lot of money in the end. Because say, for example, you try and call tops and bottoms. You spend 6 trades trying to call a top or a bottom, like on GCAD here as an example. Look, if you had turned around and said right over here, perfect example, oh, well, we're at resistance, so I'm going to sell. This candle's bullish. The next candle's bullish. Oh, but here, Ted, look, right over here, rejection. So that means we're going to sell.
Yeah,
there's nothing to tell me. This is a perfect example. There's nothing to tell me here that we're changing direction. There's nothing. I don't care at this point looking left what's happening here. I care what's happening right here, and I will use this area as an area of information or an area of caution. I won't base change on direction because of this area here. I will say I have to be watching what happens over here because of here. I will not base an idea of directional change because of this area here. I will not do that. And you must write that down. You use these areas that you map out to the left as cautionary ideas that there could be an action that happens over here, but it does not mean that there's going to be directional change. It just means you have to be aware of what's happening to the left because it could give you trouble. It doesn't mean you action because you see what's happening here. It means you're aware. You have to understand the difference because when the trend is moving, nothing's stopping it. It doesn't matter what's to the left. It just means that when you get to a certain region, there could be a possibility that, hey, we might reject. There might be something that happens. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Just because it rejected 5 times to the left doesn't mean the 6th time it's going to happen. Is a high probability of it rejecting? Of course. But if it doesn't, you can't blame yourself for doing that. You have to look at it and say, hey, this time it didn't do it. You really just have to use your brain and understand that, hey, when we go to the left and we look at an area of problem, I have to evaluate where I am in my trade. That's it. That's all you have to do, is just evaluate where you are in the trade and manage it, right? That's all you're doing. So I got up to this level here on GCAD, and now I say to myself, hey, I'm happy with my profit. I can take my profit. I can move my stop here. I can move a stop here. I can do whatever I want to do. But at no point am I saying, well, if we reject over here, now I'm taking sells.
Yeah.
You're not doing that. Get out of that habit. Please get out of that habit of saying, oh, well, because we rejected here, it's now sells. No, it's not because it rejected one candle, it sells.
Like I said, most of that stuff you're based on higher time frame as well. If you're looking
Correct.
at that, if you look at the daily on GCAD, for example, why on earth would you even consider sells?
That's right.
There's no reason whatsoever.
Yep.
Well, look at how GJ
Yeah, same
pulled
thing.
down.
Yep.
But if you look at that, it's getting higher time frames to 4 hours and daily and weekly.
Bitch, wanna know why these pants are
Yeah, no, I mean, yesterday's candle was a bit of a dodgy one because the daily, you know, it didn't really exceed much, but it didn't then. I don't think it went below either. It didn't really do an awful lot. But it's Monday, right? So
yeah, it's Monday.
Yeah, it didn't exceed the low, it didn't exceed the high, and kind of just stayed where it was when it started, basically. And I've exceeded yesterday's candle. It's just, to me, we're just going to continue. As we always say, you know, one candle's not enough either. Just to say, just because one candle goes red doesn't mean we're going to go back the other way, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, this marks the end of the day here for me. The road has come to an end.
Okay, brother.
Thank you, mate.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play some Warzone here with Jeevan.
Oh, nice.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Have a good one, man. I'll catch you boys later.
All right, everyone. Take care.
Cheers.